Two men opened the trunk of a car. Seok-hwan lay inside, covered in blood. They carried him out, tied a rock to his body, and threw him into the water. As he sank, one thought crossed his mind. Did I ever live like a real human being? If I had gotten a job, would things have turned out differently? 16 hours earlier. He was playing a game in his room when there was a loud bang at the door. "Mister, hurry up and come out. I know you're in there," someone shouted. He didn't move. "Get your ass over here, you unemployed shit." That pushed him over the edge. He stormed to the door and shouted, "Who the hell wants to die today?" It was a high school girl, he sighed. "Ah, the brat from next door. Are you interested in me or something? Why are you barging into a single man's apartment?" "Hurry up and pay," she snapped. "Pay what? What am I, your personal savings account?" "You really don't know? The hydro bill, 2 months worth, $8.70. We share a water gauge, remember?" "Oh, right, got it. Hold on." He stank. He hadn't showered in days. He handed her 2 packs of cigarettes. "Here, each one costs $4.50. Sell them to your friends and make yourself 30 cents. She tossed them off the balcony. "Those are my blood," he shouted in shock. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small candy, pressing it into Seok-hwan's hand. "Here, take this." "I really don't get you," she said. "You can't pay your hydro bill, but you're still smoking? I better see the money when I get back from school. If we lose water, it's your fault." As she walked off, he muttered, "She's got quite the attitude." At 19, Seok-hwan made an honorable sacrifice. He failed his exam on purpose, marking answers wrong to protest the system. Funny thing was, he still passed. Even someone like him could get into one of the many worthless universities in the country. His late father had said, "As long as you stay out of debt, you'll be okay." But as soon as he entered university, Seok-hwan was buried in loans. "Sorry, Dad." He worked at a gas station. "Sir, you can't smoke here," he told a customer, a reasonable request. But the man lashed out. "The customer's always right," the manager told him. He didn't apologize. Instead, he grabbed the guy's face and headbutted him. Lost that job too. His debt grew. Job interview number 33. He borrowed a suit from a friend. "Mr. Seok-hwan, you graduated from a no-name university," the interviewer said. "How many cockroaches do you think live in Seoul? What a joke. How many fingers do you see?" Seok-hwan shot back. He thought, "I won't be returning this suit anytime soon." His dream was simple: pay his debts, cover his bills, and eat 3 meals a day. Why was that so hard? Later, he drank with his friend, the one who lent him the suit. "It's your attitude," his friend said. "You've got a crap temper. You blow up at everything. You're nearly 30. How long are you going to live like a teenager?" He snapped back. "If you're so great, why are you stuck in a factory working 14-hour shifts with no overtime?" His friend got quiet. "Turning 30 without building anything is terrifying," the friend said. "Too old to be a rookie, no experience to be a vet, no dream to follow. The future is pitch black, but time keeps moving. Just endure." That stuck. Later, they ran into his friend's boss, Mr. Park. Mr. Park slapped his friend across the face. "You dumbass! I'm getting chewed out because of you." He kept hitting him. Seok-hwan was about to explode, but then he saw his friend barking like a dog just to keep his job. His words echoed, "Even if life's not good, all we can do is endure." Back at the apartment, he heard a commotion next door. "I know you're in there. Come out while we're still using words," a man yelled. The gangsters again. They'd been harassing the girl from next door for 2 weeks now. One of them had cut the gas pipe and was pouring it inside. "If she dies, good. If she comes out, even better," the thug muttered. Seok-hwan couldn't stay silent. "Isn't this too far? She might actually die," he shouted. Bam! He was kicked in the gut. "If you don't want to end up in the river tied to a rock, shut up and go to sleep." He lay there thinking, he's just taking out his anger on me. He remembered his friend's advice, just endure. Then he thought, screw that. He grabbed a stick and fought back, brutally. "If you guys can live however you want, then why should I endure?" He beat them mercilessly. "Be grateful I'm stopping here. Show up again and I'll break everything. Bring your friends, I'll bury them all." For the first time in years, the stress in his chest lifted. Then one of the thugs pulled a knife, stabbed him, again, and again. The walls were painted in blood. As he collapsed, a final thought lingered. "I threw away my life because I couldn't control my temper." His name was Seok-hwan. He died at 29. Now, 3 days had passed since his death. Back at the moment where he was stabbed near his apartment room, one of the thugs said, "Are you crazy? You actually killed him." The other man replied, "Be quiet and get him in the car." "What are you going to do?" the first one asked. "We'll throw him in the water, tied to a rock." Everything was heard and seen by the girl next door. A flashback plays in Soo-kwon's fading consciousness, back to when he was young. His temper had always been high. Ever since he was little, his father was always called to the school because of Sook's fighting, but he always supported him if he wasn't in the wrong. He taught Sook to be confident and to fight against wrongdoers. His father was a good man, respected by his colleagues. When he passed away, he was mourned deeply. Seok remembered how his father would pick him up from school and take him straight to the factory where he worked. One day, smoke began pouring out of the building. Sook pointed it out. It was a fire. As the smoke spread, everyone started to run outside, but one man was missing. Without hesitation, his father ran back in to save him. He saved the man, but lost his own life. He was a hero in Sook's eyes. Two of his father's colleagues were later drinking and saying that the supervisor had died in vain. Sook, overwhelmed with emotion, cried and shouted at them, "My dad didn't die in vain. Because of his sacrifice, 5 people are alive, so he didn't die in vain." Back in the present, as Sook sank beneath the water, his voice and mind began to fade. 3 days later, he woke up in his bed. He looked around. This is my bed? This is my house? He checked for the stab wound, but there was nothing. He rubbed his head, brushing away the thought. Was it just a dream? That evening, he stood outside his house. The girl from next door came home and froze the moment she saw him. Seok noticed her expression and thought, she's probably about to bring up the hydro bill again with that attitude, but then he saw her shaking. Is something wrong? He asked. Did something happen? Why are you crying? The girl looked at him, eyes wide and trembling. Mister, you're alive. What? He asked, puzzled by her question. Isn't that a little extreme? He said to her. Are you telling me to die because I'm late on the hydro bill? No, that's not what I said. Follow me, I'll give you the hydro bill money. She followed him to the bank ATM. Seok used his credit card to withdraw cash, but suddenly she canceled the withdrawal and pulled the card out of the machine. This is a credit card cash service, right? She asked him. Then, snap, she broke it in half. Hey, what are you doing? Seok shouted. Are you crazy? I'm not crazy. You are, she fired back. If you keep using your credit card like this, your credit rating will keep falling until you won't even qualify for a small loan. Who's crazy enough to sell their credit to pay a hydro bill? Seok said, if you destroy that, I don't have money for living expenses, let alone the hydro bill. What do you want to eat? She asked. You haven't eaten dinner, right? Pick something. Nothing over $1.30. Later, the two sat outside the convenience store, eating instant noodles. If you're perfectly healthy, then why are you living like some dying goldfish? Aren't you ashamed to face your parents? She asked him. Don't you even watch the news? Youth unemployment is at its peak, Seok replied. That's funny, coming from someone who couldn't get a job even after trying, she said. You're always playing games, you don't shower, and you keep smoking, so you smell disgusting. And when you finally go outside, all you do is drink. Sook thought, how does she know so much? You should get a job, mister, she said before walking away. Sook muttered to himself, am I really that pathetic? Then he noticed her book left behind. He picked it up to return it to her. Down a dark alley, the girl was walking alone when 2 men suddenly grabbed her, covering her mouth so she couldn't scream. One of them, the one who stabbed Seok, said, I've got 2 questions for you. First, where's your dad? And second, 3 days ago, you saw how I took care of the guy next door, right? Stop right there, a voice called out from behind. You've got to be crazy to be roughing up a kid, Seok said, stepping out of the shadows. Both thugs were shocked. How is he alive? One of them stammered. Seok walked toward them. Wait, aren't you the same bastards who always snoop around our apartment? I already had a nightmare because of you, and now I find you committing crimes in real life? The girl, finally able to speak, cried out, Mister, please save me. Smack! One of the thugs punched her mid-sentence. Keep your mouth shut, he barked. Seok's eyes flared with rage. He dashed toward her. Are you all right? He asked as she winced silently. You guys are finished, he growled. No, let's just go, she whispered, but Seok was already running toward the gangsters. Panicked, the thugs turned and ran. Seok picked up a stone from the ground and hurled it at them, stopping him cold. For always loitering in front of my house, for murdering me in my dream, and now for violating the Child and Juvenile Protection Act on top of assault, the thug lunged at him with a knife. But Seok laughed. Whether it was a dream or reality, I came prepared. He revealed the book stuffed under his shirt, shielding him. Then bam! He punched the thug, stomped him down. You bastards pull knives so casually, but you only managed to get me in a dream. You don't stand a chance in reality. Suddenly, supplies from a nearby construction site collapsed from above, killing both of them. One thug managed to flee. 3 days later, Seok woke up again in his bed. He opened his eyes and stared at the ceiling. Another dream? What is going on? Then he turned on the news and saw the exact crime scene reported on television. The alley. The incident. It was all real. I don't know what the hell is going on anymore, Seok muttered. Let's go to the construction site for now. Just then his phone buzzed. A call. Is this Mr. Seok Hwan? A voice asked. Yes, it is, Seok replied. Oh my, Mr. Seok Hwan, I finally got a hold of you. We've been trying to contact you for 3 days. Congratulations, you've been hired as the new employee of Dell CYT Korea. Can you come to the office today? Later, at the office, people were gaming, chatting, relaxed. It wasn't a strict or uptight place at all. As you can see, the woman showing him around said, there's a lot of freedom here. Unlike other 18-hour companies, we don't believe productivity goes up just because you're glued to a desk. You're free to clock in and out as you like, unless there's a scheduled meeting. Take your time looking around. She handed him a file. This is your contract. Read it thoroughly before next week's orientation. Also, don't forget to bring your bank statement and social security card. Seok hesitated. Excuse me, isn't there some sort of mistake? Why would a great company like this pick someone like me? And to be honest, my interview went terribly. The woman smiled knowingly. Mr. Seok Hwan, the version of you who cussed with your fingers held high wasn't as meek as this version here. To be honest, there was quite an uproar when we tried to push your resume through HR. First was your letter of self-introduction. You wrote about how you intentionally failed your exams because you saw how disgusting and broken the education system was. How you went to a local university, worked random part-time jobs, and kept quitting because of rude customers or abusive bosses. She chuckled softly. It read like something written by an elementary schooler. At first, we thought it was a joke, but someone higher up saw something in it. Charisma, honesty, rawness. He was really impressed. Who was that? Seok asked. Our company is France-based. The representative is French. 3 years ago, he came to Korea to train and establish a branch. What shocked him most was the work culture. The discrimination based on university names, the shunning of subcontracted employees, the glorification of unpaid overtime. What hit him hardest was how people couldn't speak their minds because they were too afraid of their superiors. He saw all of that in your writing and how you refused to submit to it. She leaned in. He said your confidence reminded him of something rare. Of course, the HR team hated your guts, said you were rude, arrogant, but I and our rep have high hopes for you. I understand, Seok said, his voice steady. I won't let you down. Thank you for choosing someone like me. She smiled, impressed by his drive. That evening, Seok returned home. The job still felt unreal. Was he really hired? It all felt like a dream. Then someone knocked aggressively on the door of the girl next door. The man saw Seok Hwan, then reached under his jacket. Seok Hwan felt a sense of déjà vu. He reacted on instinct. Bam! One punch knocked the man to the floor. Get lost, you damn loan sharks, Seok shouted. Where's your gang? The man groaned, holding up a badge. I'm a high school teacher, from Masan High, just across the road. Seok blinked. He looked at the ID. The man was a teacher. I'm so sorry, teacher. I misunderstood, Seok apologized, helping him up. It's fine. I'm just glad the misunderstanding's cleared, the teacher said, brushing himself off. If it's about the high school girl next door, I know her. What brings you here? Seok asked. Well, Yerin hasn't shown up at school for the past 3 days. We were wondering if something happened to her. Seok's eyes widened. His mind raced through everything that had happened over the last 6 days. Without a word, he ran to her apartment and broke the door open. The place was trashed, completely ransacked. From a distance, in the shadows, a thug, the one who survived that night, was hiding and listening. How the hell is that bastard still alive? The thug thought in shock. At an abandoned factory, a man sat calmly reading a newspaper. When you think about it, 2008 was the golden year. We could gut anyone who didn't pay up, sell any girl for profit, and keep everything clean. But now, these days are harsh. You can get arrested just for knocking on a door. He lowered the paper. It's time we go back to how things were. He turned to his underlings. Hurry up and sell that underage girl to the Vietnamese or something. The girl from next door, Yerin, was hanging, tied from the roof, right in front of him. Just then, a phone rang. He picked it up. Yes? Did you catch the girl's father? A pause. His expression changed. What do you mean? He's still alive! He roared in anger. Back at the girl's house, Suk stood in the middle of the wrecked apartment. He clenched his fists. His voice was low, deadly. I'll kill them all.